I speak to you now with the strength of eternal love and the faithfulness that never fails. I know the weight you carry, every tear you hid, every night when your heart wondered if I still saw you. Listen carefully, for these words are for you. They are for this moment, and they are the key that opens a door that no one will be able to close. Before the world was formed, before you breathed for the first time, I had already written your story in my hands. Today I declare with a firm and unshakable voice, the decision has been made in heaven in your favor. No accusation, no memory of the past, no mistake that the enemy tried to use against you remains before my throne. The divine court gathered, and the verdict has already been pronounced. I saw when the voices of condemnation tried to crush your spirit. I heard the harsh words, the criticism, and the unjust judgments that tried to erase your hope. But in the midst of those voices, my mercy spoke louder. I silenced every accusation with the blood of my Son. Every record of error was washed away. Every sentence of defeat was torn apart. I did not allow shame to have the last word. I said, enough. The enemy shouted against you, but I raised my hand and closed the case. When you look at your life and see delays, closed doors, and interrupted dreams, do not think it was punishment. Nothing you have faced was meant to destroy you. It was the divine process to prepare you for the fulfillment that is now before you. I turned accusations into testimony, failures into foundation, and losses into seeds of multiplication. I did not see you as guilty. I saw you as loved, redeemed, and chosen. While others turned their faces and left you alone, I was by your side, gathering resources and aligning people for the turnaround to come. While your prayers seemed to echo in silence, I was working in unseen places, untying knots and reversing decrees. While you thought heaven was distant, angels were receiving orders to prepare the way. Every tear of yours was recorded, every cry of yours was weighed, and not one word of yours went unnoticed. I tell you now, do not fear what is to come, because I have already been there. I announce the end from the beginning, and when I declare something, nothing can stop it. The enemy tried to delay the fulfillment, but he failed. He has no authority to close what I have opened. He cannot cancel the favor that I released. You were not forgotten. You were remembered by my unbreakable love. Feel my presence now, as close as your own breath. I am before you not with judgment, but with restoration. I did not come to accuse you, I came to lift you up. Do not listen anymore to the lies that said your time has passed. Do not believe the voices that said there is no way out. I am the Lord, and I am writing a new chapter for you. Heaven moved in your favor, and things have begun to align. What once seemed closed, I am unlocking. What once seemed lost, I am bringing back in greater glory. The promises that seemed distant are now closer than you imagine. This is the time to reverse sentences and tear down walls. I declare that the shame that pursued you will be turned into honor. Those who doubted you will see my power at work in your life. The humiliation you endured will be replaced with recognition and joy. I am opening paths where there was no road. I am breathing new life into dormant dreams. Do not rely on fear. Do not allow anxiety to blind you to what I am doing. The doors that closed were only protection, not rejection. I removed false opportunities so that you could receive the true ones. Do not think that the delays were wasted. Every second was counted so that the miracle would arrive at the exact moment. I tell you, remain firm. Do not give up now when you are on the edge of seeing fulfillment. Do not let go of your faith, because the decree has already been signed. The enemy knows he has lost and tries to distract you with noise, but his voice has no power before my word. I have raised the banner of victory over your life. Prepare your heart to receive the unexpected. Prepare your spirit to see clear signs that I am acting. In the coming days, things will begin to happen that will confirm every word you hear now. Do not doubt when you begin to notice sudden changes. It is my move. It is heaven invading your story. I strengthen you, I renew you, I lift you up. You are not defined by your mistakes, you are defined by my grace. You are not a slave to the past. You are heir to my promises. You do not walk alone, you walk under the shadow of the Almighty. The decision has been made and it cannot be reversed. Lift your head, breathe deeply, feel hope rise again. What seemed finished is only beginning. I am the Lord, and I speak to you. This is the time of favor. This is the time of restitution. This is the time when heaven and earth agree in your favor. Receive these words and keep them, because I watch over them to fulfill them in your life. I speak to you with a voice of authority and tenderness, and I say that I am releasing a flow of provision that cannot be contained. The treasures I prepared for you were kept for this exact time, and now the heavenly vaults have opened to pour upon your life that which does not come by human effort, but by my hand. I saw every moment when there was lack, every silent prayer when no one was there to hear. I recorded your cry when the bills piled up, when the doors of work seemed sealed, when financial hope seemed a distant dream. I did not ignore your weeping. I was preparing something greater than you imagined. I orchestrated invisible encounters, connected people and situations so that the right opportunity would appear before you. Where it seemed there was no path, I created a way. Where there was only refusal, I prepared acceptance. The obstacles that once blocked your progress are dissolving. The weight of debt and scarcity will not define your future. I am opening space for abundance where there was constriction. I am bringing to light resources that were hidden, and opportunities that had been withheld are now being released. I say, do not look back with fear, nor to the side with comparison. I am your source, and I will not fail. I am the Lord who turns little into much, and I am the God who takes the impossible and makes it visible. It is not luck, it is not coincidence, it is the fulfillment of my promise. I breathe upon stagnant areas, and what seemed dead will bloom. The work of your hands will receive favor, and the gifts I gave you will become channels of provision. I am sending clear signs so that you may know that it is not your work, but divine intervention. There will be unexpected invitations, proposals you did not seek, doors that will open when you thought all were locked. Even those who never favored you will feel the impulse to help you. My spirit is moving hearts and releasing resources in places you cannot see. I say, do not fear the numbers, do not despair before spreadsheets or demands. What I release is not limited by economic circumstances, nor by what others say is possible. My kingdom is not shaken by crises, and my resources do not run out. I did not bring you here to leave you in lack. I do not open a door only to close it over you. I am faithful to what I promise, and what I have promised you is in motion. I have seen your acts of faithfulness even when no one was watching. I noticed when you were generous in your scarcity, when you shared the little you had, and every gesture of yours rose as a memorial before me. Now I repay, not only in the same measure, but in overflowing abundance. You will reap in areas where you did not sow, because I am the God of multiplication. Do not despise the small signs, for they are harbingers of a great outpouring. A phone call, a casual encounter, an idea that comes in the middle of the night, all this is part of the puzzle I am assembling. I am opening channels of provision that are greater than a salary, greater than a single source. I am expanding your horizon so that you may not depend on only one door, but know that all doors belong to me. Lift up your head and walk with expectation. I do not call you to fear, but to trust. When you see lack, I see an opportunity for a miracle. When you feel loss, I see room for the new. I am raising up partners, mentors, and invisible allies who will bring guidance and support. There will be news that will change your situation overnight. I whisper to your spirit, prepare yourself to manage what I send, for it is not only for you, but also to bless others. I do not enrich you only to satisfy personal needs, but so that you may be a witness of my goodness. You will share stories of opened doors, debts paid, and dreams resurrected, and these stories will strengthen the faith of many. I am realigning your financial life with my purpose. The weight you carried is being replaced with a new lightness. The anxiety that suffocated you will give way to deep rest. Where there was fear of lack, there will be songs of gratitude. Where there was shame for past failures, there will be dignity restored. I say to you, do not underestimate what I am doing. What seems small now will grow. What seems unlikely will become certain. What was scarcity will become overflow. Walk with courage, for each step you take will find firm ground. Move forward with confidence, because I have already deposited the favor you need. Receive these words with an open heart. I, the Lord, speak to you to remove doubt and rekindle hope. Do not look at the desert. Look at the spring that bursts forth, even where there should be no water. Do not look at the emptiness of your account. Look at my unlimited power. This is the time of financial restoration and prosperity. What I have prepared cannot be contained. I declare over you abundance, new opportunities, and open doors. Keep your faith, for you will see with your own eyes what I am about to do. I speak to your heart with deep compassion and with the authority of the one who renews everything. I know the exact place where pain marked most deeply, where words wounded, where broken promises left scars that seemed permanent. I saw the moments when you thought love had left forever, when conversations turned into silence, and when distance became a cold wall between those who were important to you. I was there when the tears fell without witnesses, and I kept each one of them as seeds for a time of joy. Today I breathe healing over these areas, and I declare that nothing will remain broken where my hand touches. I am softening hearts that seemed hard as stone. I am removing the invisible barriers that prevented reconciliation. I am lighting a spark of understanding where before there were only misunderstandings and pride. I know the weight you carry, the feeling that some wounds are too old to heal, but I tell you that no wound is too deep for my grace. I restore what years and conflicts destroyed, and I give back softness to the places where bitterness took root. I walk through divided homes, and my presence fills the empty spaces left by coldness and resentment. I bring a breeze of peace that enters through closed doors and reaches even the forgotten corners of pain. I whisper into hardened ears, reminding them of the value of forgiveness. I remove the emotional blindness that kept many from seeing each other's humanity. I breathe over shaken marriages, over fragmented friendships, over separated families, and I declare that a new story is beginning. I am healing emotional wounds that shaped your way of loving and trusting. I am touching the memories that caused fear, and I am rewriting them with hope. The walls you built to protect yourself now fall before my presence, because you no longer need to live on the defensive. I cover you with safety and show you that it is possible to love again without fear. I remove the shame associated with past failures and pour a balm that brings comfort where there was only regret and guilt. I tell you that the words that were never spoken will be said, and the conversations that seemed impossible will happen. I am preparing hearts to meet again in understanding and affection. Where there was coldness, there will be warmth. Where there was heavy silence, there will be laughter. Where there was distrust, there will be a sincere embrace. I am restoring relationships not so that they are as before, but so that they are even better, strengthened by the lesson learned and by my sustaining love. I remove the weight of old conflicts that smothered hope. I break cycles of resentment that repeated generation after generation. I raise over families a new banner of unity, and I declare that what divided them will no longer have power. I am calling distant members to return to fellowship. I am retying broken bonds between siblings, parents and children, partners and friends. What was said in anger will not have the last word. What was lost in misunderstandings will be restored in grace. I see the places where you asked for forgiveness and were not heard, and I see the places where you waited for an apology that never came. I tell you to rest, because I am working on both sides of the story. I am reaching those who have moved away, touching their consciences and softening their hearts. I am also preparing you to receive back without pride or bitterness. Restoration will not be forced nor superficial. It will be deep and true, led by my Spirit. I am healing memories that still caused tears at the slightest touch. I am replacing memories of shouting with images of reconciliation. I am bringing back a sense of family and community that was lost. Even friendships that you thought were over forever will be surprisingly renewed. Even distant relationships that seemed irrelevant will gain new meaning. I am making flowers sprout where there were only ashes. I remove the masks that fear built, and I invite you to be vulnerable again, because I cover you with protection. I teach you to forgive not as one who forgets, but as one who chooses to release the other to live, and to release yourself to be free. I teach you that forgiveness does not diminish the pain suffered, but it cancels its power over your present. I make you perceive that each reconciliation is a miracle, and each act of love is a testimony of my care. I declare that a new spiritual environment is arising around you. Conversations will be different. The tone of voices will be lighter. Memories will be healed. Children will learn by example the strength of unity. The elders will find peace as they see their families gathered. You will be surprised by unexpected messages, visits you did not imagine receiving, meetings that will change the emotional climate of an entire house. I say that nothing is too far for me to restore. No separation is final when my hand moves. No heart is so hardened that it cannot feel again. I make all things new, and your story will not end in division, but in renewed unity. Receive now my touch that heals. Feel my presence soften the weight you carried. Open yourself to the forgiveness that sets free, and to the love that rebuilds. I am bringing back laughter where there was crying, and peace where there was storm. I, the Lord, make all things new in you and around you. I speak to you now with firmness and tenderness, because I know every battle you have fought and every distraction that tried to steal your focus. I saw the silent struggles that no one perceived, the nights when exhaustion made you question whether it was worth continuing, and the moments when external voices tried to drown out the sound of my promise in your heart. But I tell you, none of this was wasted. Every trial, every obstacle, every silence was a scenario carefully permitted to strengthen your spirit and prepare the ground for something greater than you imagined. I did not allow the storms to swallow you, even though they seemed too strong. I did not leave you alone when distractions surrounded you on every side. I was present in every detail, even when you did not feel me. The silence that so confused you was not abandonment, It was a sacred space where angels battled for you, where decrees were signed in your favor, and where your faith became unshakable. I turned the barren ground into training for your victory. The distractions that rose up were attempts to divert your eyes from what I had already prepared. People, situations, and thoughts tried to break your rhythm and suffocate your hope, but none of these things could stop me from fulfilling what I promised. I held your hand invisibly when you were on the verge of discouragement. I whispered encouragement to your spirit when no one else could reach it. What seemed like delay was, in fact, alignment. I know the wounds that time and battles left. I know the weight you carried trying to be strong when everything around you was falling apart. I saw when you almost gave up, and I remained firm at your side even when you did not perceive me. The losses and delays molded your character, refined your vision, and tested your perseverance. Now, these marks will be trophies of victory and signs of my faithfulness. I now remove the fog of confusion that tried to cover your path. I bring clarity to your thoughts and peace to your emotions. I strengthen your tired hands and steady your wavering feet. What seemed chaotic is under my control. Those words that tried to wound you will be powerless before my decree. The distractions that surrounded you will lose strength as your attention returns to me. I declare that no weapon forged against you will prosper. The plans made in darkness to delay your progress have already been undone. The fears that tormented you will lose their hold. I place upon your shoulders a new mantle of courage and confidence. You were not called to live in doubt, but to walk in boldness. Do not look at the waves around you. Fix your eyes on me, because I am your firm rock. I am turning every adversity into a step. What seemed like defeat will become testimony. What seemed like loss will become restitution. I am turning the picture in your favor in ways you cannot yet see. Even what the enemy planned for evil is being redirected for your growth and to demonstrate my glory. I use even the storms to lead you to the safe harbor. I tell you not to despise the days of difficulty, for they were the ones that revealed who you are and who I am in you. They proved the strength I deposited in your spirit. They taught you to differentiate what is temporary from what is eternal. They prepared your heart to value what I am about to release. There is no wasted battle. There is no ignored tear. I am removing noises around you so that you may hear my voice clearly. I am removing influences that do not contribute to your destiny. I am closing some doors so that you may recognize the ones I open. Do not fear the temporary losses because they are protection, so that you do not walk paths I did not plan for you. I strengthen your spirit so that you may continue even when the scenery has not yet changed. I send peace where there was anxiety and hope where there was hopelessness. I place a deep certainty within you. You are not alone and never have been. My hand is upon your life, guiding every step, correcting every route, lifting you every time you fell. I declare that your story will not be marked by defeat, but by overcoming. You will be a witness that no adversity is greater than my purpose. Those who watched your suffering will also see your rebirth. They will see that what was used to try to destroy you became the stage for my manifestation. I have already released extra strength for your heart. I have already sent answers that were on the way. I have already positioned help in strategic places. The battlefield that seemed endless is already quiet because victory has been decreed. Now stay attentive, for subtle signs will begin to appear. You will notice doors that were not visible before. You will feel peace even when circumstances do not explain it. I tell you, Do not doubt what you planted in tears, for you will reap with songs of joy. Do not underestimate the power of what you endured, for it is what equips you for the new levels I have prepared. Rise and walk with confidence. Do not allow distractions to steal your gaze again. I, the Lord, am with you, and nothing will be able to stop what I have established for your life. I speak to you with careful attention and with the strength of my purpose, so that you may know that nothing you have gone through has been outside my dominion. I saw every unexpected turn, every closed door, every tear shed when you felt forgotten. I observed the path seem without direction, and even so, every detail was carefully adjusted by my hand. I announce the end from the beginning, and when I draw a finish line, no force can erase it. I aligned times and circumstances that seemed like delays but were training. I moved invisible pieces while you thought nothing was happening. I closed some opportunities to protect you and left others on hold to prepare you. While some stepped away and even doubted you, I was silently weaving an inheritance that surpasses your dreams. I kept promises in safe places to reveal them only at the perfect moment. I arranged meetings that you have not yet perceived. I positioned people who will cross your path at the right time. I moved resources to strategic places so that when you need them, they are within your reach. Every apparent coincidence is, in truth, the fulfillment of a plan I designed with love and precision. You were not forgotten, you were prepared. I tell you not to despise the time of waiting. Your patience has matured your vision and strengthened your faith. The ground that seemed barren is now fertile because I cultivated it in secret. The seasons of silence were the interval in which I removed stones from your path and created deep roots so that the fruit will be lasting. I do not rush my plans because I create them perfect. While you cried over what you thought was loss, I was keeping something better. While you lamented doors that did not open, I was building new paths. While you felt isolated, I was gathering forces and allies who will now come to meet you. Nothing escaped my control. Not even your falls eluded my redeeming gaze, for even they served to shape your character and broaden your understanding. I whisper to your spirit so that you may perceive the subtle signs around you. The fulfillment is in motion even when your eyes do not yet see. Small changes are happening, connections are forming, and opportunities are being released. You will begin to notice that doors align in ways you never imagined. It is the perfect time, not early nor late, but exact. I remove the anxiety that tries to hasten what is not ready and drive away the discouragement that whispers that nothing will change. I breathe peace over your heart and confidence over your mind. I strengthen you to wait with expectation and to walk with courage, because what I have prepared is solid and lasting. Do not compare yourself with the pace of others, for your path was designed in a unique way. I have already released signs on your path so that you may know that I am with you. A word, an unexpected gesture, an opportunity that arises out of nowhere. Each of these is to remind you that I am faithful. I adjusted every detail with divine precision. Even human decisions that seemed unjust are being redirected to fulfill my greater plan. The time that seemed wasted to you was the period in which I was building the foundations for your future. I say that your story will not end in frustration. The dreams that seemed frozen are thawing under my breath. The promises that seemed distant have already begun to move in your direction. People you do not even know yet have been touched to bless you. Places you have not yet seen are being prepared to receive you. The scene may still not reflect the greatness of what I planned, but this will change quickly. I am restoring your sense of time so that you may understand that nothing delayed my plans. I am tuning your ears so that you may recognize my voice amid distractions. I am lifting your head so that you may see beyond current circumstances. What is coming is not fragile nor fleeting. It is something solid, established by my decree. I place a new hope in your heart. You will perceive that every delay was grace, every detour was protection, every apparent loss was seed. I transform misunderstandings into learning, mistakes into testimony, and tears into celebration. I am the Lord who does not fail in His promises, and I will not fail you. Receive these words as a foundation for your faith. Wait with confidence, walk with boldness, because the perfect time has reached the horizon. Do not look back with regret nor forward with fear. Look to me who adjusts every detail and upholds every promise. I have already set in motion the fulfillment of what I declared, and you will see with your own eyes the unfolding of my goodness. I am faithful, and the work I began in your life will be completed with perfection. I speak to you with authority and tenderness, and I declare that the time has come when the favor I prepared for you will be seen by all. I know every mockery, every look of contempt, every word of doubt that was thrown against your walk. I saw when they ridiculed you for keeping the faith, when they laughed at your prayers, and when they disbelieved the promises I made to you. But I, who am faithful, have been watching, and none of this has gone unnoticed. Now I breathe upon your life a wind of recognition that no one will be able to contain. I move hearts and minds around you so that they may perceive my hand in everything that happens to you. People will begin to speak well of you without knowing why. Your name will arise in conversations that will open doors, even among those who never favored you. I have already whispered your name in the dreams of influential people, and they will feel the impulse to bless you. Even those who once ignored you will be led to see your value. Not because you seek approval, but because I decided to exalt you to glorify my name through your life. I am preparing moments when the unexpected will become reality. Those who predicted your failure will be confronted with your rise. Those who bet against your victory will witness your elevation. And no one will be able to attribute the merit to luck or circumstance, because it will be evident that only I could do something like this. I will place upon you a light that will highlight your integrity and your perseverance. The fruits of your character and your faithfulness will flourish in public. I tell you to walk with humility as I lift you up. The recognition that will come is not an end in itself, but a sign of my favor and of my covenant with you. It will serve as a testimony for others who are still waiting for their miracle. I will exalt your life in a way that will encourage weary hearts, so that they may know that I fulfill what I promise. Do not worry about those who still doubt, for my action will dispel all doubt. I have already positioned opportunities that will reveal your talents and gifts, not for vanity, but to fulfill greater purposes. You will speak with people you never imagined reaching, and doors will open in places where your name had never been mentioned. The blessings that will come upon you will awaken admiration and reverence, for it will be impossible to deny that it was my hand that lifted you. I now remove the weight of shame and scorn you carried. I clothe you with new dignity and with honor that comes from above. I change the narrative that others told about you and write a new story before their eyes. You will be remembered not for what you lacked, but for what you endured with courage and for what you received by my grace. I will cause even perplexed enemies to witness your victory. They will see doors opening that they could never have closed. They will hear testimonies of transformation they cannot contest. They will realize that no scheme succeeded in stopping my move, not to humiliate them, but so that my power may be recognized, even among those who resisted. I whisper to the heavens and the earth to align events that will place you in evidence at the right time. Places of influence will feel the need to receive you. Voices that once criticized you will fall silent before what I will do. Those who mocked will realize they mocked someone sustained by the Most High. And you will realize that you did not need to fight for recognition because I myself fought for you. I lift you up so that you may be living proof that faithfulness is rewarded. You will be a reminder to many that no matter the size of the opposition, my decree prevails. I transform others' disbelief into admiration and unbelief into testimony. What was once a reason for laughter will become a reason for celebration. What was once used to humiliate you will be transformed into a reason for honor. I declare that songs of gratitude will spring from your lips when you see the blessings I prepare. I declare that your influence will grow in a healthy way and your heart will remain steadfast. I pour upon you grace so that you will not stray nor be filled with pride. Your elevation will not be superficial nor temporary, but solid and rooted in my eternal purpose. I am moving circumstances so that the right doors may open and so that the right connections may be made. Unexpected people will be instruments of my goodness. Improbable situations will become platforms for my name to be magnified. Your testimony will travel farther than you could ever imagine. I tell you to remain faithful and humble because the favor that surrounds you will be so evident that many will ask how it happened. And you will answer with the simplicity of the truth. It was the Lord who did it. I, the Lord, lift up those who trust in me, and when I exalt someone, no force can bring them down. I remain with you, and the glory I will manifest in your life will be a beacon for others, showing that I fulfill every word I release. I speak to you with the gentleness of one who knows your heart, and with the strength of the one who sustains the universe. I am closer than you imagine, so close that even your faintest sigh reaches my ear. The sudden feeling of hope that surrounds you is not chance. It is the sign that my presence is working around you. I come not to judge you, but to fulfill promises and bring peace where there was restlessness. I walk by your side even when you do not see me, and my hand guides you even when you do not feel it. I am opening doors that once seemed blocked, and no force will be able to close them. I remove invisible barriers and undo obstacles that kept you tied to old situations. I release connections and opportunities that are not the result of human effort, but of my care. The right people will cross your path and improbable circumstances will align, for every detail was designed by me. What seemed inaccessible will become reachable because I myself have come down to prepare the way. I touch your spirit so that you perceive that you are not alone. The loneliness that weighed on you is being replaced by a living awareness that I am with you. I send subtle signs to confirm my nearness, a word at the exact moment, an unexpected gesture, a memory that warms your heart. Every detail serves to remind you that your Father has not abandoned you. I sustain your faith and renew your strength. I bring rest to your troubled mind. The anxiety that suffocated your thoughts is giving way to a serenity that does not come from circumstances but from my spirit. I remove the fear that made you hesitate and replace it with courage. I silence the voices of condemnation and fill your heart with the certainty that you are loved and accepted. I did not come to charge you for what you could not do, but to show you what I have already prepared for you. I walk through the corridors of your life, lighting up where there were shadows. I enter the places you hid, where you kept wounds, and there I pour out balm of healing. I reach areas you thought irreparable and plant seeds of new beginnings in them. I transform memories of failure into markers of victory. My presence changes the atmosphere around you. Where there was tension, peace arises. Where there was hopelessness, expectation is born. I am bringing people to walk beside you not to replace your trust in me, but to confirm my care. Friendships, supports, alliances, all of this is an answer to your prayers, even those you have already forgotten. I surround you with my grace so that you know you do not have to face challenges alone. The love I send through others is a reflection of my eternal love. I breathe life into your sleeping dreams. What you almost gave up on waiting for will pulse strongly again. Ideas, projects, and desires that seemed extinguished will gain new energy. I remove the weight of doubt and make you see possibilities where before you saw only walls. You will begin to see my movement in the details. An unexpected contact, an opportunity that reveals itself, a door that opens silently. I tell you to remain sensitive because small signs will carry great confirmations. A moment of peace in the midst of chaos will be proof that I am acting. An improbable reunion will reveal my intervention. A sense of renewed purpose will be the announcement that transformation has begun. Do not ignore these simple things, for in them is my gentle voice guiding you. I cover your home, your family, and your work with my presence. I am in the middle of conversations, in the silence of nights, and in decisions you do not yet know how to make. I guide your steps even when the path does not seem clear. I am the support that does not fail, the shelter that never closes, the fountain that never dries up. I am the reason you still rise, even when your strength seems exhausted. I remove unnecessary weights from your heart. I break invisible chains that kept you from moving forward. I give you eyes to see opportunities that before passed unnoticed. I give you ears to hear my direction even amid the noise of the world. I teach you to rest in my care and to trust that nothing is impossible when my presence is with you. I declare that the environment around you is changing. The heavy air of hopelessness is being replaced by the freshness of expectation. Places that once conveyed sadness will now be filled with joy. I lift your face so that you may see beyond circumstances and realize that my hand is acting in a concrete way. I am so near that even your deepest fears are being dissolved by the light of my peace. I surround you with love that does not fail, with care that does not sleep, and with faithfulness that does not run out. Receive this certainty. No matter how dark the path may seem, my presence lights every step. No matter how strong the storm has been, my spirit calms the waters. No matter how distant you felt, I am here, very near, transforming your reality with the strength of my love. I speak to you now with the weight of my glory and the gentleness of my care, so that you may know that this is the time I have waited to reveal something extraordinary in your life. I saw every loss that wounded you, every door that closed, every plan that crumbled before your eyes. I saw the shame that they tried to place upon you, the looks of scorn and the words that pierced your heart. But I tell you, none of these things will have the final word. What was a cause of pain will be turned into songs of joy. The seeds that were sown with tears will sprout into harvests so abundant that even those who doubted you will be amazed. I am moving situations that seemed unchangeable. I am transforming stories that seemed closed. I am breathing life into areas that many had already declared dead. The moment you thought had passed is before you now, reborn by my power. It is not just a small adjustment, it is a total turning point, a reversal that will make it clear that I am God and that my promises do not fail. I declare that the place where you were humiliated will be the very place where you will be celebrated. I silence the echoes of the past and give room for new songs of victory. I use every defeat to amplify the brightness of the triumph I prepare. I turn shame into honor, loss into abundance, and fear into confidence. Nothing you went through was wasted. Every fragment of your story will be part of the testimony that will lift others up. I am releasing divine encounters and opportunities that do not depend on human effort, but on my decree. People will cross your path to confirm my work. Unexpected doors will open without you forcing them. Resources will appear in places where there was no possibility. This is the time when you will see quick answers, sudden changes, and clear signs. What seemed distant has already begun, and soon it will be visible to all. I speak to your spirit. Keep your heart open, for the move I send is not limited to what you imagine. I do more than you asked, and beyond what you dreamed. I bring unexpected reconciliations, surprising provisions, and healings that defy logic. I show my greatness by even using the darkest moments to produce light. The testimony that will come from your mouth will reach people who would never hear another sermon, because it will carry the weight of your experience. I make your story a living letter of my faithfulness. Those who watched your process will understand that your progress did not come from skill or influence, but from my grace. I will make your victory reach farther than your suffering did. The voices that once mocked will learn, when they see your transformation, that I am the God who acts irresistibly. I tell you not to underestimate the small signs that begin to appear. A message, an invitation, a change of atmosphere. All of this is part of the miracle already underway. I am accelerating processes that were stagnant, opening paths where there was no passage, and removing obstacles that seemed insurmountable. You will see with your own eyes things you once only dared to imagine in prayer. I send peace to your heart, so that you receive without fear what I prepare. I send courage, so that you do not refuse new opportunities out of insecurity. I send anticipatory joy, so that you may celebrate even before seeing everything manifested. The expectation growing within you is the confirmation of my spirit, saying that fulfillment is closer than ever. I use your testimony not only to exalt you, but to heal others. People around you, wounded and weary, will look at your life and find hope. They will see that if I did it for you, I can also do it for them. I turn your progress into a beacon for those who are in darkness. I multiply your song of victory so that it echoes into future generations. I declare that what was lost will be returned with greater abundance. I declare that what seemed forgotten is being remembered and restored. I declare that what was dishonor will now be a sign of glory. The time of the miracle is not to come. It has already begun to blossom around you. The waters of my favor have already started to spring forth, even if they still seem like small streams. Soon they will become mighty rivers. I surround you with my presence so that you walk with confidence. Even when others do not understand, you will know that I am with you. Even when circumstances do not yet show everything, you will feel in your spirit that the change has already been decreed. What I prepared for you cannot be contained by human limitations. Receive these words as a seal upon your life. Celebrate, even if quietly, because heaven already celebrates. Share your faith, because your voice will bring hope where there is despair. Keep your heart willing, because I will surprise you in ways that surpass your imagination. I, the Lord, have begun this move, and no one can interrupt what has started. Your testimony will be like a banner lifted high, proving to the world that my love turns losses into harvests and tears into songs of victory.